which is really nice. It gives you nice images when you stamp down. And again, we are going to be focusing on this beautiful bundle. If you have a mini catalog, it is the Hello Harvest, the Rustic Harvest Suite. It's on page 48 of the mini. And I'm focusing on particularly the bundle. I'm not using too much of that pretty paper, but I am going to be showing you a couple patterns anyway. So the Hello Harvest bundle, it is it's an 11-piece set. It is a cling stamp set, so you'll need your acrylic blocks, but it has that beautiful pumpkin. These are the stamps. It's got a nice spray of sunflowers, autumn flowers, a nice leaf, a smaller flower, a couple of little embellishment pieces, and it's a perfect stamp set because it's got the sentiments as well as the artwork, and these are great sentiments for fall. Wishing you the loveliest day. You are such a blessing. Hello. And you are missed. So really pretty fonts and the scripty fonts as well. You've got both the words and the pictures. And again, it's a cling stamp set. So Roz says she loves the bundle. Using it a lot. You and me both, Roz. I was sad when it was on back order a couple weeks back, but it's back in stock. Get it while you can, because with Thanksgiving coming up and fall coming up, it's probably going to go back on unorderable. The rustic pumpkin dies are very cool. So we've got the outline dies for that wishing you the loveliest day. We have the big pumpkin die, the leaf die, and the spray die. But it also, and the little tiny flower die as well. But it also includes these cool pumpkin builder dies that cut and emboss at the same time. So cool. We are going to be using those as well. And then it has a couple of little accents, these little vines that kind of grow off the pumpkin. So those are, and there's 3, and that's kind of nice because you can crank 3 through at a time. You don't have to do individual ones. So really, really nice dies. Hello Harvest. And on this project, it is heavy with the deckled rectangle dies. I love the graduated sizes. And we're using several of the different sizes. So these are the deckled rectangle dies. One more basic tool that we're using. We are using the Artistic Mix Decorative Masks. So we're going to be doing a little bit of masking. This bundle, Pam says it makes beautiful cards. It does for fall. It's so great gratitude cards, perfect for fall. Sending a nice little greeting. Carol says hello from Connecticut. Well, hello, Carol. I think probably it's 10 p.m. for you as well. So I'm so happy that you're joining me tonight. All right, my friends, so I am going to explain the other supplies that we need as I go along. If you're just now joining me, you have clicked by Just Stamp with Anna Marie. Tonight it is after dinner drinks. We are going to be card making. We have a full-on class. And again, I say, if you would like these project materials prepped, organized, and sent directly to you for free, all you have to do is place an order between now and Monday for $35 or more and use the host code. I think I have it above the video, but I'll be sure and put it in the post again and also on the YouTube post. All right, my friends, so let's get started with our first card. The first thing I want to say is I have some fun options for you. I have 2 gift card holders, and I have another fun fold, and then we're going to create the gift box that can gift all of the cards or store the cards. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight. We're going to start off with a gift card holder. I'm going to bring out the materials. And you're not going to see the card first, you are going to be surprised. So I'm going to start off by saying we need a piece of basic white thick cardstock. I am still calling it Whisper White. Old habits, right? basic white, 10 3/4 by 5.5. We are going to be scoring this. We also need basic white, a scrap for stamping. We need one of those deckled rectangles in basic white, and this is the rectangle that measures about 4 1/4 by 3 inches. I have a choice here. I think I'm going to go with the Cajun Craze just because it's very fall-ish. Ross says she just says white. It's easier. So true. But I do like Stampin' Up's white because I do get cards from that are made with other materials, and you can kind of tell some of the whites have like a blue tint to them. Stampin' Up has a beautiful white. Basic white is, of course, basic. So we've got Cajun Craze, another deckled rectangle, and this is 4 3/4 by 3.5. That's going to be a layering element. And then for stamping, I have a scrap of shimmer paper, and it's about 5 inches by 3. We're going to be stamping and die cutting on that. So those are the materials we need for this card project. It is a gift card holder or a treat holder as well. We're going to be doing some scoring. And let's see, we are going to score. Let's see if I can remember correctly. Oh, you know what? I don't need to remember, silly goose. Roz, she's a demo. She only uses Stampin' Up. You know what? Because Stampin' Up has great quality. I can tell the difference, of course, from the hobby store. But there's also other companies, but Stampin' Up, I think, has great quality papers. The weight is really nice and the colors are perfect. So this 10 3/4 by 5.5, we're going to score. We're going to start off by scoring it at 2 1/4, and I'm using my Stampin' Trimmer with the great measurements there that has both the scoring blade and the cutting blade. I've already moved the cutting blade out of the way. I've got my light gray scoring blade that I'm going to score 2 3/4. And actually I should have done it the other way, but it'll work out. 6.5. And the reason I say the other way is because I wrote on the paper. I don't want to have to erase, but I think it can fold in. It's not even going to be seen. So 10 3/4, 5.5, score at 2 1/4, and 6.5. There is our basic or a card foundation. Then I'll show you what we're going to do. I'm going to get my bone folder and go ahead and crease this paper. And because I have written on there, I'm actually going to go against the score line. I know it's supposed to go the opposite way with the valley score to the outside, but I'm doing it the other way. It's going to the inside in this case, only because I did those notes on the cardstock, and I don't want to erase. I'm trying to correct it in case I scored off to the slightest bit. You can go ahead and force it by going corner to corner and then folding down. And we are going against the grain. There we go. So there we go. There is our card base. When you open it up, you can see I'm going to have a pocket here. And I'm going to start off by creating an all-over background on the card base using the floral spray stamp, and I already mounted it. This is block D. That's probably my most used block, right? I'm going to be using Sahara sand, and I am going to be stamping off. So I'm going to bring in a piece of scrap that I don't mind getting too messy. And actually, let's do this. I've got a scrap on here because I'm going to be falling off the cardstock. All right, so here we go. I'm going to stamp down, and it's random mostly, so it doesn't matter. I'm just doing a little bit of background, only because I'm not using any DSP here. Designer Series paper, I'm creating my own in essence, using that floral stamp. Super pretty. and I just want a really light tone. I'm trying not to double stamp. So I might have a little bit of a gap in some places. It's okay. And then one more little piece in here. Let's see if I can squeeze that in. Okay, so I created my background. And let's see, while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and add one of those floral sprays to the inside of the card. And stamp right in position. There we go. That was a full generation, not a second generation. And let's do a little bit more stamping. I think I'm done with my Sahara sand, so I'm going to push that aside. I am going to put a greeting on the inside on the pocket, and it says, "You are such a blessing," and I am stamping in Cajun Craze. And this block is a little bit bigger probably than you would typically use. It's block H, but I like it to be bigger as opposed to smaller. So I'm going to put that pretty much in the center. Again, this is the pocket. So you could put either a little note, or you could put a gift card or a treat or a check or cash inside. So I find those cards to be really useful, especially when I'm sending little treats off for fall. All right, so then I'm going to go ahead and create my pocket here. I'm going to try and get the ink out of the way. And to create the pocket, I am just going to use my favorite adhesive. It's the Tombow liquid glue. What's your favorite adhesive? What's your go-to? I use bottles and bottles of this, and sometimes it gives me a little bit of a challenge. I think maybe it has a little clot in there. But overall, I love the Tombow. I could use snail, but this is really nice, aggressive, and it's very economical. As I said, I go through a lot of it. So it's my go-to. There we go. And I love that it's aggressive. I'm not going to use a lot. You can see I just put a small trail. And this is why I'm not worried about that writing there. It's going to go on the inside. You're not going to see it. No one's going to see it. So Roz says liquid Tombow is her favorite too. I think it's really easy. It's nice and aggressive, and it gets in small spots, bigger spots. I love the dual tip, the fine tip and the brush tip. I think it's just a perfect adhesive. I do like to use the Seal Plus as well, but it's a little bit pricier. So Tombow is only like $4.50. I think maybe if the price went up, I can't remember, but I just go through bottles. I always have plenty of extra on hand. I don't know if you heard that squeal. Somebody's getting feisty. Okay, so then I'm going to show you kind of what we're doing here. We're going to have a layer of Cajun Craze, and we're also going to have a layer of the basic white. And we're going to put two of those pretty pumpkins on here. So I'm going to stamp 2 pumpkins on the shimmer white, and I'm going to stamp in soft suede. I've made lots of versions of this. Some of them have been heat embossed with gold, which come out really, really pretty. But since we're doing a full-on class, I didn't want to do heat embossing. It takes a little bit longer. And this is, again, it's the soft suede dye ink, and I'm going to be coloring it in with Stampin' Blends. So because this one's water-based and our blends are alcohol-based, it's going to work out fine. I am going to start with my Stampin' Blends in in Pumpkin Pie. I'm going to start with the light in this case. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do the dark pumpkin pie. So Pam says she uses Tombow as her go-to as well. I think it's the best. It's always, I can't think of too many situations when it's not the number one I would go to. For 3D projects, it's perfect. Sometimes it can be a little bit messy. I've seen people struggle with it when they apply too much. So probably the secret is to use not a lot. Keep it under control because it can get messy. And you do not want to have a sticky hot mess with too much glue. And a little bit of glue goes a long way. And so what I'm doing with the dark pumpkin pie, I'm coloring here. I'm following the natural lines from the stamp. And then I'm going to come in and blend it in with the light pumpkin pie. And I am using the brush tip right now. And I'll tell you, lately I'm using a lot of brush tip because my blends many of them need to be replaced. I share my blends during class and club, and so they get used and abused. And it's always the brush tip that goes frayed, and it doesn't really do great for detailing work. So I like the pen tip. The pen tip seems to last a lot longer. And remember, I'm using shimmer paper. All right, so now I'm gonna take the light pumpkin pie, and fingers crossed I've got enough ink on here to complete my 2 pumpkins. I'm just kind of blending in, and this is why I like to do the dark first, because then you can blend in. If you color with the light and then you do your dark, you're still going to want to come back in and blend it up. So I just start off with the dark, and it seems to work well. Work well for me anyway. Artists have different preferences, so whichever way works best for you. I am by no means the A-rate artist, and that's exactly why I like the blends, because you don't have to be. They color so nicely without the streaks like the Stampin' Write markers, and they make anybody look like an artist. So right now I'm just using the light pumpkin pie blend, and I'm bringing it in there. And I might even come in again with the dark for the shadowy areas. But the stamp has some natural lines here for you to use as a guide when you're coloring. All right, there we go. Marsha's watching the replay. Marsha, no, you're watching live right now. If you're watching, you're watching live, because I had a day. That just reminds me of a waitress we got in Kauai when she approached our table and said she was having a moment. Well, the moment lasted all night, but I'm having a moment, and it seems to be a daily thing because I have 2 young puppies. They're going to be 16 weeks on Monday, and they're 2 Scotty puppies. And they are very needy. They like to be fed, they like to be watered, they like to play. Of course, fed water, that means we have a lot to pick up, and they take a long time, and they are not quite sleeping the entire way through the night. But I'm not so much on night duty, my husband, because he's a night owl anyway. He does the night duty. But still, I need to get up and help out, and sometimes give some relief, because the husband is preparing the meal, and they get a nice little snack in the middle of the night. So of course they're going to wake up in the middle of the night to get a nice feeding, right? They are stinking cute, and I'm so thrilled I have them though. But I am exhausted. It's hard to get anything done. And that's kind of like the state of affairs lately. All right, so I've got 2 pumpkins on shimmer paint. I'm going to bring in my light soft suede. And again, I'm going to use the brush tip and color the stem. Just like so. Pretty simple. I like this shimmer paper. It adds a little bit of sparkle. You could do Wink of Stella as well to add your sparkle. There you go. All right, and before I cut those, I'm going to take a scrap. I said earlier I had a basic white piece for, can we see the puppies? I would love to show you the puppies. Carol, let's see how they're doing after we do our card class. They are stinking cute and they just have my heart. It's Fergus and Jean, and Jean is Geene. My son named him, and that Jean is an awesome name because it goes for either male or female. All right, my friends, I'm going to stamp a couple of these beautiful leaves, and I'm going to use Cajun Craze ink, and I'm going to do a couple also in Crumb Cake. Well, I'll use Sahara Sand since I've got it open. But again, I'm going to bring back in my stamp off paper because I don't want these to be overpowering. I'm going to ink up, stamp off, stamp. Ink up, stamp off, stamp, and a couple of, oh, I guess I just need to clean that. So today I'm using my spray, my Stampin' Mist, and my scrub. It's just what I have handy. I haven't taken the time to wash my chamois, that's why. Okay, so I've got Sahara Sand, and I'm going to do the same, going to stamp off and stamp. And that's just because I want this to be a little bit softer. I don't want it too stark. And my greeting on this card is going to be hello. And I'm stamping in Cajun Craze. My nice hello fits on block C. And let's see, I do want a little bit of space, a little bit of air around the word. There we go. And I think I'm ready to cut. Oh, drats. Let's see. I was hoping I had these pre-cut. So, oh, I do. I pre-cut a couple of the little swirls in the Distressed Gold. These are from the die set. They add a nice little accent. I agree, Roz. The font on hello is very cool. I like the strokes on it, the nice capital letters. It's a nice firm hello. And also the script font is really pretty as well. Okay, my friends, we are ready to die cut. I'm going to bring in the mini. And let's see. Oh dear. I'm looking around. Where did I put my dies? I did show them to you. Found them. They are on the tabletop. Do you lose stuff on your tabletop like when it's right in front of you? Totally, right? I hope I'm not the only one. All right, I'm taking my pumpkin and my leaf. And I'm going to put these aside. I hope I don't lose them. I am going to bring in the platform number 3. So lots of times, and I know from experience, even though it says embossing folders, this also helps with feeding the dies through without having to do that staggering of the plates, because I know some crafters get frustrated with the mini. We don't want any frustration. And I find that plate number 3 does work. I'm going to use a little bit of washi tape, and I just put it on my skin to kind of get some of the tackiness off. And I want to try and do my best to have a nice clean die cut. We're going to do a little bit of cranking here. Actually, I should have pre-done the leaves so you wouldn't have to watch me crank everything through. But you know, crafting can be very relaxing, and that includes the die cutting. You could fussy cut, but why? Because this set has beautiful dies. Look how nicely it cuts the pumpkin. And it's a nice plump pumpkin. Anybody have a pumpkin to carve for Halloween yet. There were some huge pumpkins at my favorite big box store. I didn't get it yet. You can get them, but just don't carve them too early, I guess. But they were huge. There we go. You know what else I love? That just reminded me what I love about fall. Of course, is pumpkins, but also squash soup. Oh my gosh, that is a favorite thing for fall for me. One of my favorite little go-to casual dining places has squash soup that is just yummy. Perfect for fall. Okay, I am going to slice off that hello before I cut my leaves. And you know me, I love my mini chopper. So let's see if I can bring this in. Chop off the hello. And then I'll be ready. Let's do a couple of things. Let's go ahead and trim. It's a little bit long on the top, too much air on the top. So I'm going to trim just a tiny bit. And then again, if you could cut a straight line, you can use your snips. There's my hello. I'm done with that. Bring back my images. And I'm going to toss this on the plates and use my washi tape to hold in place. And again, there we go. And I think I'm out of vision here. There we go. I love my mini. I know sometimes it can get frustrating with that staggering. That plate 3 is a solution, but I love having it available on the tabletop instead of having to go over to another station. And it does the trick. And this, I think all of the dies in this set can run through the mini. I have multiple minis available, especially for club night, because everyone can cut right at their spot without having to get up and move. Oh, hello, Marcia. Hello. Happy Friday, finally. I hope you grabbed a little after dinner drink, something comforting. I have a Black Russian today. I'm liking it. I'm kind of lucky to have a mixologist who doesn't mind making my drinks on demand. Okay, so then maybe I need to take off the washi and go ahead and cut. And let's see. So on some of the sets, Stampin' Up! Is giving multiple dies of some of the stamped images. It would have been nice to have an extra leaf, I think, because who can do a project with just one of these nice leaves? Is it an oak leaf? You need multiples, right? So 2 would have been helpful. It's just easier to crank more through it at once. There we go. All right, that was the last leaf. I'm going to pop this out of the way. I think we're going to need it again. Yes, Marcia, this is live. You're not going crazy. Typically we go live at 4. However, I have 2 new puppies in the house, and they are setting my schedule. My schedule is now out the window because everything revolves around those 2 puppies. That is why we are doing after dinner drinks at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I know it's 10 o'clock for lots of you, and I love that you are getting all snuggly and ready for bedtime. And crafting along with me. I hope that you like this pretty class. Okay, so next, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to add a little bit of color to the white deckled rectangle, I'm going to bring in my Mint Macron Stampin' Write marker, and whoops, I need the brush tip. And let's see if I can do a little bit of flecking on here. And I'd like to pick up just a little tiny bit of color. I'm just brushing the tip on the cap, and sometimes I rotate it because I am right-handed. The flecks seem to land in one spot, so I just rotate the paper and solve that little problem. Okay, so that's just a little bit of color on that deckled rectangle. And what I'm going to do, we're going to be bringing in some of these leaves. Are they oak leaves, ladies? What do you think? I think they're oak. And I'm going to do some here. I'm going to show you, I think I'm going to be putting the pumpkins around here. I'm just kind of doing my placement. Now that has a bit of pumpkin on the outside of the line. Let me dash and get my lifter. And see if I can eliminate that little bit of color outside the line. I don't know, would it bother you? All right, and if it doesn't come off at first try, give it a go a second time. All right, so now, let's see, this is going to go, and you know what? It's probably not even gonna show because you'll see with the layout. It's gonna go like so, right? And what I'm gonna do, because I kind of like where the leaves are, I like to have them in place, and then I'm just gonna put a dot here of my favorite glue, get it in position so I don't have to move it again. Just lift the little die cut, put a dot, stick it down, and same on the other side. Since I'm right-handed, it's easier to rotate. Oops, it's kind of moved. It's okay. There we go. I'm gonna flip that around. And I'm going to put the one at the back flat. So flat adhesive here. And I'm just doing a little bit of, see, what other adhesive can you do this with? So easy, right? And let's see. All right. Oh, the puppies have gone quiet. So I'm going to keep my voice down soft. This one's going to go up on top. I'm going to pop this one up with dimensionals. And I am at the end of my sheet, so I went around the border and snipped. I love that I can use every last piece. Just like this. And flip that around. I'm going to do that on a little bit of an angle, like so. Kind of happy the way it's coming out. I'm going to bring in my hello, and it's going to go around there. But I also want to add my linen thread, and I'm going to double it up. So I'm going to do about 11 inches twice. There, get my ribbon scissors. Thank you, Marcia. I think it's going to be a nice little gift card holder. So like a little Starbucks card, a little Target card, whatever. It's always nice to get a little gift in the mail. And it's easier than sending off the actual gift, because then you can mail flat. All right, so then I'm going to get a glue dot. I'm just going to put my bow right up to the glue dot. bring this in under. I'm going to want to put it, let's see, kind of up to the edge of the pumpkin. This is going to be elevated, so I'm going to get a mini glue dot and put it on the corner here, and then the rest of it's going to go flat because I don't want to double stack. So mini dimensional there, a little glue dot there, flip it. Let's go ahead and add that right like so, and there we go. It's coming together. Now I'm going to get those little gold swirls and put little dots right behind. So another thing that would work on these is the adhesive sheets. If you put a small amount on that, you don't have to worry about adding the glue. However, I didn't, so I'm just going to put my dot of Tombow right in there. There we go. And this one goes on the other side. All right, now I'm ready to mount that onto my Cajun Craze. Look how it makes it pop, right? This is when I like Cajun Craze, because typically it's not a color I would use as a card base, but is a little bordering color. It's really nice. Beautiful burnt orange for fall. I'm just doing a little Tombow glue all the way around, right in here. Secure that down. I'm going to bring in my gift card and going to pop that up here. And you could either do it flat, or how fun to put the dimensionals, right? I think I like it popped out because it's just so dimensional that way, right? And I'm going to give it a little extra support right in the middle there. Okay. Here we go. Uh-oh, I missed one. What happened? I think I just removed the covering. I didn't actually take the dimensional. I feel it right there. There. Right in here. So fairly easy card. We are going to pop it right there. So hello. You are such a blessing. So you can put a note in here, put a gift card in there. And when I tried this in advance, here's what I did. I kind of changed the coloring up. Let's see what you think. This one is in Mint Macron with Mint Macron stamped background and the matte. And I think I like them both. What do you think? Which is your preference? Do you like the traditional color, or do you like the softer color? I do like them both, but I think that this is more expected. And this is just a little twist on it with the color. Mint Macron is a beautiful soft color, and I love the way the gold stands out against it. I did heat and emboss this pumpkin with the Mint Macron in the golds. So Pam says both are beautiful. I think they're very simple design. Very useful with that pocket for the gift card or a longer letter. All right, so that was card number 1. Let's keep going. And I'm going to go on to card number 2. And my friends, this is the fun fold of the month with the Fun Fold Fanatics. This is the sliding gift card holder we are creating. And again, I'm going with that basic white base. And let's see, I need one piece that's 4 1/4 by 11. I need another basic white, and this is the thick. This one measures 7 by 3 1/4. I have a deckled rectangle in the Distress Gold, measuring 4 1/4, 3 inches, and a deckled rectangle in basic white, measuring 4 by 3. So that's going to be layered there. and I pre-cut the little swirls in Cajun Craze. Those are going to be our accents. And then you need a piece of scrap for stamping. So let's start off with our scoring. And I'm going to start off with the bigger piece. Bring in my trimmer. And let's see. I have made so many of these sliding gift card holders. I should have the dimensions and the scoring memorized. I start off by scoring at 2. Well, now we're on the 4 1/4 by 11 piece. I'm using my scoring blade. And I need to open that up because I'm going to score at 7 1/2. So I'm just going to push it over to the 7 1/2 inch mark and score. All right, so that is the card base. I'm going to bring in that 3 1/4 by 7, and this one gets scored at 2 inches. So that's easy to remember. Both get scored at 2 inches, and instead of 7 1/2, this one gets scored at 6 1/2. There we go. And we're done with our scoring. And we're going to take that and that. All right, then we are going to be doing some masking on this project. And let's see, let's do our burnishing. Let's see, I'm looking for my bone folder. The inside pocket gets Z folded, so that 1/2 inch tab goes back. The 2 inch tab or score goes forward. That creates a pocket for that sliding gift card. It's actually going to go this way. And last time I showed you it was a vertical gift card holder. This one's going to be a horizontal. So I am going to bring this in, fold on the score lines, and burnish. You can see where the two ends meet. And this one's going to be, and the last time I shared it with you, it was a vertical, opened this way. This one's going to be horizontal. So we're doing that. And then we're going to have the pocket on the inside. Now I am doing a little bit of masking. So let me bring this in. I am going to bring in the gridded mask. And just going to kind of align it so it's kind of straight. And I've got a little piece of washi tape there. And I think if I can find my washi, I'm going to put another piece down to hold it in position. But again, I'm going to try and do a little bit of detacking. There we go. And I am going to create a background using Sahara sand. And I need my blender brush. And let's see, I'm going to dip that right in and then go lightly because I just want ever so slight background. This is in Sahara sand. This is going to be the front of the gift card holder. And I'm just creating that little block pattern. This set of masks, I think there are 3 or 4 masks. There are even label masks, which is pretty cool. And I like masking because it adds dimension to your project and a background without adding extra weight or thickness. Sometimes we run into a little bit of a weight or thickness issue when we want to mail the card. This masking creates our background without extra weight. So there's that. Look how pretty that looks. And as I said, it's ever so subtle. Sahara sand light. Then I'm going to take the pocket. I'm going to remove this mask. And I'm going to use a different mask. Same set. It has a different pattern. And I'm going to bring this in. And I don't want it to go in the front though. I just want it on the pocket. So I'm going to open this flat. And go ahead and secure it down. And on this one, it's okay if it goes off that pocket because this is going to be the back We are not going to see. Never look at the back. All right, and then I'm going to do again with Sahara Sand. And it's just a nice contrasting pattern when you open the gift card and it slides open and you get a different pattern than the card front. So there's our pattern. Really simple. And look how pretty, and see, it's okay. That's going to be glued down anyway. The pocket goes this way. And we're going to add a couple of falling leaves to this. So I'm going to take my leaf stamp and I'm going to grab my Cajun Craze ink. And I'm going to stamp off again. I don't want it too stark. So just going to have some falling leaves on here, random. So no rhyme or reason the way they're going. And again, it's okay if it falls off the score line. Like there. Because we created a pocket. I'm not going to clean my stamp yet. All right. And it's going to be folded. So we've got that taken care of. I'm going to then use my Tombow, create the pocket. So I'm only going to put adhesive at the short edge. It's a 2-inch side, top and bottom. Go ahead and fold that close. And the Tombow is the perfect adhesive. It's a nice aggressive adhesive. It's going to stay stuck. We can go ahead and put that on the inside by putting Tombow just on that little 1/2-inch tab. We're going to want this to stick, and I am going to open that up flat and align it to the score right here on the left of the card base. And I'm going to align it flat on that score line, centered, just like that. And apply a little bit of pressure to make it stick. This then goes this way. And we're going to create this pocket. So again, the Tombow at the 2-inch tab pocket. So just from the score line, the 2-inch score line over, right like that, goes here. And go ahead and secure that down. This is the little magical slide for the gift card. We're going to close that up. It slides closed. Whoops, a little bit stubborn. Let's get my bone folder. Burnish that down. When you open, it slides out, close, slides back in. There we go. So now let's do our decorating on the front. And we are going to do some stamping. So we're going to have our distressed gold. We are going to have our basic white. And I want to do a little bit of splatter on here. So same technique, Stampin' Write marker. Let's fleck a few spots on here. And I don't want it too heavy. It's ever so slight. And it's the mint macron to make it soft, so it's not too stark. Just like so. All right, there are my flecks. You can see just a tiny bit. Pretty mint macron. That's going to be here. Thank you, Marcia. It is the Fun Fold Fanatic tutorial of the month, the sliding gift card holder. It creates a fun way to present a flat gift. Now I'm going to do some stamping, and this time I am going to need a pumpkin, and it's essentially the same pumpkin I did earlier. So I need a pumpkin. Let's see. I need the spray of flowers. So I'm stamping again in soft suede, just like so. And I'm going to need 2 leaves. And let's see, I think I need to clean the stamp at this point. I am using again the Cajun Craze, and one more time I'm going to stamp off. Clean. Oh, I could have done the white one first. And I'm going to use the Sahara Sand. And again, a second generation. Just 2 leaves, and this time I am using the sentiment that says, "You are such a blessing." This is going to be stamped in Cajun Craze. And I'm going to allow a little bit of space to the left and right so we can dovetail the ends. There we go. And so that I don't ruin my stamped image, I'm going to trim that off. So I'm just going to snip that there. I can worry about a straight cut in just a few minutes there. All right, let's do some coloring. And again, we are using the blends, a little bit different this time. So I'm going to do the pumpkin the same, dark, and I'm going to come in on the natural darker areas and at the bottom, a little bit darker at the bottom. It kind of sounds like my blend is drying out too. I always try to push them to the limit. Oh my gosh, they go down fighting. But you know, it's my complaint. Stampin' Up! Introduced them. We could buy them separately, and then you have to buy the pair. And the one that seems to go is always the brush tip. Usually it's the lighter blend as well. So I try to get as much mileage out of them as I can. Now I'm going to do my flowers in pumpkin, the flower center, sorry, in pumpkin. So I'm going to go ahead and do that at the same time. Then I'm going to bring in my light pumpkin pie. And I'm going to try and get away with the brush tip and blend in this darker area. There we go. As I say, the blends just are so easy. There's no fussing like with the Stampin' Write markers, because the Stampin' Write markers, you get those streaks. You really have to be an expert with them to get good coloring. With the blends, just so simple. And as long as you are using a dye-based ink or the Memento, you won't get the streaks or the running from the original, from the base ink. There we go. And again, I went outside the lines. Let's see if I can find my color lifter. And not sure if this is going to matter, but let's get rid of it. And I'm not going to need to color the stem. Oops, sorry about that. Let's see, I'm going to bring in my mint macaron and color up the foliage on my flowers, all the leaves. And this is mint macaron dark with the pen tip. Really simple. And there's like 2 different kinds of leaves on this little image. Right in through here. So let's see. I am thrilled that you are joining me at this late hour. Uh, things are different at 5425. Those puppies have done a schedule shift on us. All right, next I'm going to bring in Daffodil Delight, and I probably have to use my pen tip. So nice golden flowers. And let's see, I think at the top of this post is a link for the supply, so you will know exactly what I used. If you click on the link, you don't necessarily have to shop, but it will give you a list of all the supplies. If you're shopping, great. It tells you what you can add to your cart. But if you just want to know in particular what was used, it's also a great supply list. If you want all the class resources prepped and cut and organized for you because you don't want to do the cutting and measuring, and it's even shipped all for free with a minimum $35 order using the host code now through Monday. All right, so then let's see, I'm going to do also these little flowers. There's 2 of these, I think. And then I'm going to fill in the inside of these tiny, tiny flowers. Pen tip as well. There we go. All right, so then, now I just know if I'm going to want to cut this, I need to trim this out, otherwise it will not fit on the mini. So let's do this. Just cut that up. There we go, that'll make it fit. And we have a couple things left to do on the pumpkin. I'm going to try lifting a little bit more of this color. I was sloppy and I went outside the lines. And I said I don't need to do the stem because it's going to be covered anyway. But I think I do want to add a little bit more dark pumpkin right in here. Again, my blends are drying out, so it's hard to get that shadowy bit with the darker color, but we force it. You know, another thing I could do, let's see how this works. Let's see if it'll work. I have my Cajun Craze. Let's see if that'll add a little bit of, yeah, that works too. So no worries that it's not exactly the same. Looks like every pumpkin's going to be a little bit different, the coloring, and we can blend it in. So this is light Cajun Craze on the shadowy areas of this beautiful pumpkin. Perfect. All right, so let's do some die cutting. I'm going to bring back the mini and bring back my dies. So let's see, flip that. I'm using plate number 3 on the mini because it is a no fuss, no muss plate instead of using the plate number 1 that you have to stagger the plates on. I'm going to grab a piece of washi and I'm going to de-tack it and put that right on here. Cut that little pumpkin, that big pumpkin. Right in here. And wow, it is very quiet here in the house. I wonder if the puppies have gone to sleep. We'll see. All right, that, and then I want the leaf. Use my, let's see if I can do 2 with 1 washi tape. So I'm gonna put that on there. That is for the spray. Oh, it's pretty close though. Let's see. All right, let's see if I can hold that in place. I love it when I can gang cut. All right, here we go. And then I'm just gonna have to do one more leaf. Gonna return that. And you just need, when you use the washi, you just need to be careful when you peel it off that you're not taking any of the paper. And that's the reason I like to de-tack it, either on my skin or on clothing. There we go. All right, one more. There we go. Pull that off. It's trash. Right there. All right, let's do some assembly. We're going to bring in our white deckled rectangle. This is going to go off to the right. We're going to put our spray of flowers right like so. And we're going to put our leaves in here. Whoops, we need to fix our label. So I'm going to straighten that out using my mini chopper. And it's going to come out to be about 7/8 wide. Chop that off and bring in, uh-oh, this is going to have to be like angled instead of dovetailed, just because of the way I cut it. It's okay. Oop, it's a little bit wide, but I think that's okay. It's going to go right in place there. So let's see, we're going to want to put this in position down at the bottom. And this is my secret. Once I lay it out the way I like it, I go ahead and just lift it and add a little bit of Tombow. And the same with the little leaves, just a couple of dots. I'm gonna keep it in position. Hold that down. Just like so. And the flowers are going to be dimensionaled. So let's get a couple of snips. I am down to the border of my dimensionals. So glad, oops, it flicked. No worries. Let's see if I can use that somehow. There we go. And just take off the protection there. This goes right in place here. We're going to do our blessings also in a dimensional. Let's snip that. Let's see. You are such a blessing. And we're going to put that in position. It'll work right in there. And I'm going to use my linen thread. Do a simple little bow. And I'd like to do the bow and the loops without cutting so I don't waste as much. I go through a lot of linen thread, probably as much as I go through the dimensionals. Yikes. All right, then I'm going to add a little glue dot. And let's see if I can. All right, let's see. Grab a mini glue dot, and I'm looking for, this is the, oh, here it is right here. I need my take your pick. I'm also coming down to the end of my mini glue dots. No worries. Got more of those as well. Whoops. Tuck that underneath. All right, so then this gets placed on here and it's gonna go flat. And centered. And I have a couple of those little Cajun Craze accents. And we're just gonna add these with a dot of glue. So let's see, one goes off this direction. These are super cute accents, die cuts. Okay, this one's gonna go up like so. All right, there is our focal point. We're gonna add this, get rid of that. We are going to add this to our card and it's gonna be centered. And what I wanna do is make a little mark. So if I flip this over, and the reason I'm doing this, I'm gonna mark this because I do not want to put any adhesive on that part that's gonna be exposed. So all adhesive goes below that mark. Flat adhesive, and again, you could do dimensionals. Oh, thank you, Carol. You're so sweet. And I'm gonna bring that right in here. It's very soft, nice, pretty orange autumn colors. There's our gift card holder, sliding gift card holder. And this one's horizontal. When you slide it open, there you go. Just like so. And here is the original. So you can see it's pretty much the same. When it slides open, there's my thanks from my favorite Target spot. Oh, thank you. You're so kind. I love it. I think it's pretty. I like the masking. It's a nice soft background, right? So, second gift card holder. Let's see. The next one is going to be a fun fold, not a gift card holder, but it will be another fun fold. And this is an easy one to create. Not as much stamping, and because you've already seen me do some of the coloring, I'm not going to repeat. Let's just say I'm going to start off with some pieces here. There we go. Okay, so let's go. This little fun fold starts off with a 8.5 by 5.5 inch card base, and we're going to do some cutting and scoring. Let's make some room here. Let me tidy up. Take a sip. All right, so let's see. Hello Harvest Fun Fold. Here we go. I am going to score right in half, so that would be the 4.25 inch mark, right? That's a standard card base. Then I'm going to rotate this, and I am going to cut from the score line 1.5 inches in. So I'm going to go up to 1.5. I'm going to place it on the trimmer. I'm going to bring my cutting blade up to the 4.25 inch mark. So I like to use the marking on the blade. There's a halfway point on the blade. I'm going to pierce down, cut up at 1.5 all the way to the end. So I'm only cutting to the score line. I'm going to flip it and do the same on the opposite side. 1.5 inches. I'm going to bring the the cutting blade down to 4.25, and I'm going to cut from the score line to the top. There we go. There we go. So look what happened. We have like little legs. This is going to create a centerfold easel. And I'm going to bring in my bone folder. Fold these down. Oh, I need to do one more score line. Let's see if I'm going to fold these down, then bring the trimmer back. I'm going to score that down or burnish that down. And the same on the opposite side. Now I need a score line halfway point. So by halfway, I mean halfway between the card front. So half of 4 1/4 would be 2 1/8. So I'm just going to bring this into 2 1/8. Oops, I don't want to cut though. I want to score. There we go. All right, so now I'm done scoring, and I can go ahead and bring that over. And burnish that down. There we go. So there's our card. I'm going to fold on that center score as well. Burnish that down. There we go. Now I have some pieces from the designer series paper that coordinates with this bundle. It is called Rustic Harvest paper. I've got 2 different patterns. I've got this pretty golden color, probably crushed curry. And these measure 4 inches, 1 1/4 inch wide. These are going to go here. And this one measures 4 inches by 3, and it's going to go on the center. I also have 2 pieces of another pattern. This one measures, let's see, I'll tell you, 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. So 2 2 1/4 squares. Is that right? 4, yep, it's going to be right. All right, because what I did was take a 2 1/4 by 4 inch piece. That's not right. So that would be 2 inches, right? Yeah, 2 inches. They're not square. So it's 2 1/4, 2 inches, and 2 inches. There we go. Now these are going to go on the side flaps. And I do like to have the patterns right. So let's see. How did I cut that? Let's see. I am trying to, there we go. All right, so I'm going to adhere that flat. These are the sides, the 2 sides. I'm going to have a small border, like an 1/8 inch border all the way around. The same on the opposite side. Just using my favorite. You could use Seal Plus as well. So the back pattern is very pretty as well. It's got a nice dark acorn and leaf, oak leaf pattern. Really pretty. All right, then the other one goes in the center. So I'm going to lift these 2. Again, flat adhesive. And I'm going to have, I like to do this because I like it to be aligned right in there, but I know it's going to slide over. So it's actually a little bit wider than it needs to be, which works out perfectly. There we go. So now these 2 sides get flat adhered. I'm going to use my Tombow. And it's going to be adhered. Yep, adhered. Glue it down. Same on the opposite side. There we go. And glue it down. All right, now the front center flap. I'm going to put these 2 patterns. Oh my gosh. All right, Carol, have a good night. Thanks for joining me. I know it's late. You can catch the replay here on Facebook, or you can skip over to YouTube and kind of skip some of the chatter. Carol, I was gonna try to introduce you to Fergus and Jean. We'll see. Okay, so then this one goes at the top. And it's actually kind of cool because this card is very simple, as is the gift box that I'm going to share with you as well. Okay, so that goes right there. And we've cut that instead of putting it as one piece because this is going to be folding up. So you can see it goes right up on the fold, like so. Now, the decoration on this is using the Builder pumpkin that has that cool embossing, and I have cut 2 of the whiter dies. So bringing the dies back in, you will remember this has that Builder pumpkin. You've got a wider one and a narrow one. Okay, so Marcia, typically I go live at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I have 2 puppies that are pushing the limits on my schedule, which is why I'm here at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Almost bedtime, right? So sorry about that, but that's just the way it's going to be going for a while. I'm kind of at their beck and call, but I love it. So no complaints, just it makes for a little bit of an unreliable schedule. Anyway, so let me give you the rest of this card. I'm going to take 2 of the whiter ones. I'm going to add a little bit of flat adhesive. This card is really very simple. Very little stamping, more building, die cutting, and this is going to go just like so. And then we've got the center panel, and the center one I'm going to add with dimensionals. And it looks like I've lost my leftovers there. Thanks, Marsha, I appreciate it. All right, so this just goes here. We're going to lift the center portion, and it's going to go right in the middle. It's going to be a nice big pumpkin. And I even die cut the stem in crumb cake. This is going to go in the center. Oh, I should have done this before I did that. And right like so. I might need a little bit of adhesive back here. Now, snip that down. The floral sprays I have pre-colored for you because you've already seen me do these a couple of times. Mint macaron for the leaves, pumpkin pie for the petals, soft suede for the centers. And these are going to be married. Let's see how I'm going to do this. Kind of like so. And I'm going to put a little bit of flat adhesive in here to double stack that, make it a nice big spray. And then this is going to go right onto that die cut pumpkin. And this is going to be dimensionaled, if that's a verb, right like so. And right in here. Tell you, this one's really quick. All right, so my spray is going to go pretty low on here. And let's see, thinking it's going to go, see that stem? I want that to show through. All right, so that's how it goes, just like so. This then gets placed onto the center panel, and it's going to be flat adhered, so I can add a little bit of adhesive in here and secure that right down. And you notice I didn't put any adhesive at the tip top because it's going to pop. It's going to pop up there. So we're almost done with this one. Now, I also did a little bit of stamping. I stamped that great sentiment that says, wishing you the loveliest day. And I die cut it with the label die here. Now I'll show you what I'm going to do next because I'm not going to quite use it as is. Oh Lordy, I'm looking for my scissors, my paper scissors. Right there. And I am going to snip off here those little ribbon edges because, oh, I should have showed you. Because if I put this on like so, it looks lovely like that, but when it's closed, those kind of peek out. So I guess it's a matter of preference. I don't want those sticking out. I cut it down a little bit and just trimmed off the ribbon edges right up to the ribbon here. show you what I'm doing. Just snipping those off, and I'm coming along right up to the ink. And coming around. And again, you could use the full label if you like. There we go. And this needs to be popped up with dimensionals. I'm going to use a couple on each side. And it goes right in here. Oops. Get rid of all that backing. And it goes about 1/4 of an inch from the base. And that is your easel card. So you can pop that up on the mantle or on the desk. I'm not done yet. I have one more little element to add. I say that. Here it is. I'm just going to do my little linen bow. Right like this. All right, here we go. And I need my ribbon scissors right there. And I need a glue dot. And I'm going to tuck it right underneath here. And then I'm going to put my bow right on there, on the glue dot. And let's see. There we go. That is card number 3, the little centerfold easel. Really sweet, right? And these were created, I love that pumpkin with the embossing on it and the floral sprays. That's my center easel fold. So that's card number 3. Now we're almost there. So thanks for bearing with me because I know it's a long class. But again, if you would like these project materials prepped, organized, and sent to you for free, all you have to do is place an order between now and Monday for $35 or more using the host code. So there's project number 3. And my last project is going to be a sweet little gift box for gifting or storing these cards. And I'll tell you what we're using. We are using the craft gift boxes. Have you had a look at these in the catalog? They are on the main catalog. You can use them for treats like baked goods or a little gift. Or they also accommodate the cards. And it's really simple to put together. So it comes already scored. It comes already with the adhesive. And what I like to do, like any other project, is fold it down, burnish it. Let me clean up just a little tiny bit so I don't have so much going on my tabletop. All right, so I'm going to fold and burnish just like making a card. Thank you, Marcia. I appreciate your comment. So sweet when you let me know what you do or don't like. And I do like to hear even when you don't like it or when you have a suggestion, because I mean, it just makes us a little bit more creative. And I know sometimes it takes a little bit of effort to comment or let me know that you're here, but it's so sweet that you do that for me. Also, be sure to like it. Since we're talking about that, I know lots of people pop in and are anonymous and don't make a comment or don't let me know, and that's okay. But it's always nice to know that you stopped by and you had a thought, whether you liked it or not. I appreciate that. I do know that most of my viewers are watching on the replay because it's hard. Getting on schedule with me is going to be tough, even more so now because of my family life schedule. And so what I've pretty much done is just folded and burnished on all the score lines. Okay, so now this box is so easy to assemble. We're going to fold the little flaps in, and we are going to secure the box. So we're going to come up, meet it at 90 degrees. So I'm just going to come in, pop that right in. how to get the cards, like how many and what do you get with them. So the card kit, you will get the supplies to create all 4 of the projects, because there's going to be 4 projects. There's 3 cards and the gift box. I will send you all of the pre-cut, pre-scored, and organized materials that you need to create all the cards. And you get them for free when you place a $35 or more order using the host code. And that needs to be done between now and Monday. So that's how you get the card class for free. If you don't want to place an order, if you're a demo, and I totally understand that, you can send via Zelle $20. That covers the class. And it's kind of like my free class in person. You can come and create and make your projects for $20 and not have to purchase anything. Or you can buy some of the product that you might want to use either for this project or something else and just place an order. So then you kind of get like 2 things. You get the class and you get some product. Okay, so I just created the base of the box. Now we are going to fold in these little top tabs. I mean, truly, this is as simple as it gets. You're welcome, Marcia. You are so welcome. And if you would like to know specifically what I used, you can click on the link up at the top of the video. It will send you over to my Stampin' Up! Demonstrator page, and it will list everything that I used. So, well, almost everything. I don't go through and tell you what blocks I used or what adhesive, but you get the idea, right? So here's my box. Look at that. We already assembled the box. So simple. And I love that it has this little peekaboo window. You can kind of see the goodie or you can see the gift inside. And let me share with you what I mean. Let's just say we put our cards and envelopes on the inside. So 1 of each, because we can't get a lot of cards in, but certainly a little supply, and your envelopes. Put them right inside, just like so, and it's looking pretty cute, right? Then, oh dear, let's see. I'm looking for the rest of my supplies. And let's see. I'm going to be using some of the woven ribbon. This is in the mini catalog. I'm going to bring this around and tie a bow. That'll keep the little flaps down, but it will make it very easy to open the box without having to tear anything open. Oh, just like so. Ribbon scissors are the best. They don't chew through your ribbon. I'm going to make a pretty little bow here and just loop that through. Oops. Well, there we go. All right, then we're going to decorate the box, and we are using 2 of the floral sprays, and I pre-stamped, colored, and cut because you have seen me create these already tonight. It would be mint macaron for the leaves. I used a little bit of crumb cake on the leaves just to make them a little bit more fallish. Pumpkin pie petals and soft suede centers. I'm going to put one there, and I'm going to put one here. And these are flat adhered. So I'm just going to put my little trick again. I'm just going to put well, there we go. Just going to put the glue right on there because that's the position I want them in. Right there. And right here. Look how sweet that looks. I mean, really a sweet gift. So you can gift the cards or you can store them in here. I think this makes a really sweet hostess gift. You know, when you go to lunch with a friend, really super cute, right? There is project number 4. How easy was that? So simple. So there's our easel card. Let's see if I can fit these all in here. Our sliding gift card holder. And we had one more. Let's see where, oh, it's in the box. Silly me. Let's see, I'll use this one. Our other hello card. So there we go. Thank you, Debbie Winson. So there's our Hello Harvest card class. Super sweet bundle. The dies are amazing with those embossed pumpkin builder pieces. And you could use the coordinating paper a little bit more. I liked being really soft and subtle with the masked background, but it makes a really sweet gratitude card set on its own or just each card. Really simple to make. Oh, thank you, Marcia. I really like this bundle. I hope you have it and that you're using it. It's a keeper. The pumpkin is just adorable. The floral spray is really sweet, and you can use all sorts of different colors for it. So there you go. All right, so Carol has left me. Carol asked about Fergus and Jean. They are asleep, as I think Carol is. I hope that you get some crafting done this weekend. It's finally Friday. Enjoy yourselves. Kick back, relax, do a little bit of crafting, and I will see you next Friday. I hope to be here at 4 o'clock, but you know the drill, how things are going lately. I love that you held out and waited up with me. I hope you enjoy the card class as much as I enjoyed sharing it. Thanks so much, guys. Good night.